As my channel name implies, I'm mainly a fan of Western cartoons. Before 2020, I had seen some of the most famous anime and I've heard some other popular titles. However, certain weeb incels drove me away from anime because all they do is bash on Western animation. It's all like, Western cartoons are ugly colored B-mouth, and they worship Uzuki-chan because it triggers the SJWs or something. Those people are the worst and it made me feel bad for liking cartoons. However, in 2020, I started to dip my toes back to anime. I saw My Hero Academia, Beastars, Little Witch Academia, Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, and Brand New Animal, and enjoyed them each. In December 2020, I was recommended to watch a particular anime. This little show was Neon Genesis Evangelion. I had heard of Evangelion prior to that. I remember when the critically panned Netflix stuff came out and it was trending on Twitter. People were complaining that they took out the Fly Me to the Moon credits because of copyright issues. But I forgot about it soon after and brushed it off as a standard robot show. It's way more than just that. On January 3rd, 2020, I started watching Evangelion. Evangelion is an anime created by Hideaki Anno for Studio Gainax. It's about a 14-year-old boy named Shinji Ikari who lives in Tokyo 3. Before he was born, a cataclysmic disaster occurred called the Second Impact. These creatures called the Angels keep attacking Tokyo 3, and Shinji is recruited by his father Gendo to pilot a giant biomech called Evangelion to stop the Angels from causing Third Impact. For the first few episodes, it is a standard robot show with a lot of action-packed scenes. The second half gets much more analytical. It contains heavy, dark themes of mental illness and such. The final 2 episodes took place entirely in the characters' minds, and it was quite controversial for how low-budget and confusing it was. Much of the themes of mental illness come directly from Hideaki Anno. Gainax's previous show, Nadia the Secret of Blue Water, was a flop and it caused Anno to spiral into a 4-year depression. He projected this into Evangelion. In particular, Shinji's mother died prior to the events of the series, and his father is extremely abusive towards him. This caused him to have very poor mental health. Evangelion also deconstructs many of the standard tropes associated with shonen anime. Shinji, an average 14-year-old, isn't immediately gung-ho to pilot the Eva. He's scared and confused. Saving the world is a huge responsibility upon a 14-year-old. He's also rather demure and somewhat feminine, while his fellow pilot Asuka Langley Soryu is slightly more masculine and eager to fight the Angels. Also, much of the psychoanalysis is drawn from Sigmund Freud's theories, particularly the Oedipus complex. That's why motherhood is a strong theme in Evangelion. All the characters' mothers are dead, and the mothers each impacted them in the same way. Or some way. Not to mention the religious iconography. It doesn't really have any particular meaning. It was only used in the show because they thought it looked cool. Evangelion may seem complex and confusing at first, but when you really pay attention to it, it's rather simple, especially in animation. Gainax had the budget for ham sandwich from making this series, and yet they work hard to make the fight teams look as good as possible and employ minimalism whenever possible. In particular, the infamous elevator scene in episode 22, which is done to save the budget and make sure that the viewer feels the awkward tension between Asuka and Rei. My personal favorite part of the series is the characters. They're all extremely well written, memorable, and are carefully crafted to seem like actual people. Even Rei Ayanami, the aloof and cold pilot, gets a ton of character development to be truly human. I could go on and on about how much I love the characters, except Killer Renz, but we'd be here all day, and also, spoilers, after the controversial 2-part finale. Gainax created the end of Evangelion, an epic theatrical movie with a big beat, that budget, equal dose of action and psychoanalysis. There's also a rebuild of Evangelion, a 4-part retelling of the original Neon Genesis series created by Studio Khara. I highly recommend Evangelion. It changed my life so much. I found myself relating to all the characters and just soaking in the deep themes and the beautiful art. It also teaches us a lot of life lessons, like don't run away from your problems. However, it's not for small children. There are many intense scenes that include violence, nudity, sex, smoking, and drinking, so I wouldn't recommend it if you're sensitive to any of those topics. But if you can handle all those, Evangelion is the perfect show for you. It definitely serves a gateway series into the medium of anime. I love anime a lot more now because of Evangelion, and have watched many more series this year. I recommend all of these too. Mob Psycho 100, Cowboy Bebop, Madoka Magica, Demon Slayer, Kill la Kill, Jujutsu Kaisen, The Promised Neverland, Fooly Cooly, and Death Note.